dirt, building my dome. Concrete walls, yeah, it's my home. Stockpile stacked with rations tight. Prep for the dark, we'll light the fight. Forage the woods, take what I need. Off-grid living, no time for greed. Barter goods in the shadow shade. Tactical steps in plans I've laid. Back to the bunker where the truth won't bend. Water and food where the road might end. Bug out bags by the door, stand tall, prepared for the fall. Yeah, prepared for it all. Generators hum, a comforting sound. Blackout nights when chaos surrounds. Seeds in jars, yeah, we're growing life. Homestead and strong in a time of strife. No high-tech wires, no web to roam. Resilience beats the world unknown. Hands in the soil, hearts in the fight. Staying ready every day, every night. Back to the bunker where the truth won't bend. Water and food where the road might end. Bug out bags by the door, stand tall, prepare for the fall. Yeah, prepare for it all. Back through the bunker where the truth won't bend. Water and food where the road might end. Bug out bags by the door, stand tall, prepare for the fall. Yeah, prepare for it all. Prepare for it all.
Hello, and hopefully everybody's having a great day. Finally, back to a live stream. Back to a live stream. Looks like I got a handful of you in here right now. Make sure that you check in and say hi to me. And obviously, let's go knock out the very ones from earlier today, as before the chat changed. Tim Huther, first. What do we got here? Debbie Chandler, number 2. Alrighty then, you are deterred. Also, okay, we've got Dave popping in here. Let's see. So I've got a poll running for you guys. Go ahead and check that out. I won't, no pressure right now. We're going to talk about a little bit of this and a little bit of that. But the poll question is, how long can your current food storage actually last your household? And right now, it's pretty much even. The number 33% is always kind of weird. I don't know why, but it's like, I don't know what's happening there. Why is there a blue thing there? Engage with your audience. That is not. That is not. It's always there's always something. There's always something, YouTube. Why is there always something, YouTube? Yeah, all colors. And we're gonna run this for 1 hour. I'm setting it up because I know somebody's about to scream something to me about tuition. Tuition. There we go. I don't want to be on the government. What's going on here? There we go. It kind of hiccuped. It didn't want to play. Grumpy Acres Farm Shop. Gerd. It's almost like the sound a radio makes when it's like a fax machine. Gerd. Okay, so let's go ahead and knock out some of the basic stuff right off the bat. I'm going to go ahead and switch you guys over to the main 2. And I guess let's go ahead and talk briefly about, let's see here. What am I doing? Why are these Why are these screens all changing? Okay, there we go. All right, so what do we got? So the local the price of gas currently nationally averages $4.22 if you live in I hate to say it, but the blue states on this map, on this map, of course, then you're doing much better than a lot of other people. I think I paid in the travels 365 was the lowest that I paid down there in North Carolina. But it varied. It varied during my travels this week. Also, Tim Huther, thank you very much for that $5 donation. And make sure everybody hits that like button. Also, make sure the you guys hit that like button for All Righty Then Canada. So, after tariffs, taxes, and his socialist government, his $279 actually took $27.33 out of his pocket. That's my guess. Tim did it again. All right, Tim. Good to go. But yeah, the gas prices, obviously people are feeling that butt pain, but I don't know, man. I still think that this is the price of American dominance in the world. This is the price that we have to pay. All right. So, with that said, because there was some actual news on the financial front, obviously gold. Oh boy, look what gold just did today. I mean, it's not a huge number, but that just makes it look worse. That just makes it look like some hurdy time. It's down 2%, 2.48% today. No, I don't want to do that. I want to do this guy. Right. Oh, look, I got a fancy tool now. What are you doing? What are you doing? Stop doing this. Just stay where I want you to stay. There we go. Gold is down 2.48% today. And Julie Snacks, thank you very much, Tim. I appreciate you. Um, yeah, that's kind of significant. It's kind of significant why it's happening. They're talking about interest rates. They're talking about a lot of crazy stuff in the financial news this morning, screaming there's a massive job loss, and then saying, oh, by the way, we added more. Tim, you stopped it. Stop, Tim. Tim, you stop. Everybody, make sure everybody gives a thumbs up to Tim for for making us reach our goal for the day. But getting back on point, gold is playing some magically crazy stuff. 2%. That's crazy. So, but oddly enough, what do we got here? Gold is gold really $4,372 an ounce? Wow, that's crazy. And it looks like it's still going down. Well, let's see here. I accidentally messed with the scale. There we go. This is today, guys. This is today. Gold is no joke. No joke today. Let's see here. Don't forget the cat food. Yes, you got to keep those cats fed all the time. Oddly enough, one of them is now taken over the bathroom and sleeps in the bathroom sink, and so that he can like be up high and look at the bedroom door, because you can see our bedroom door that we don't allow him to come through. He just sits there all night long and sleeps and waits for somebody to open that door so he can meow at him. He's pretty freaking needy. That's why his name is Worm. Anyway, I'm gonna adjust this a little bit higher. There we go. But they're into the cabinets. They're doing all sorts of crazy stuff. Viking Queen, there you are, lady. Haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you. You're still part of our Patreon, I think, aren't you? I'm pretty sure you are. If you guys haven't seen the Patreon, you should probably get your asses in there, because there's way more content over there on that side than there is on this side. Basically, the average is going to be every other week you'll get a video over here. These live streams are going to be hit and miss for a while until we get the whole chemo schedule locked into place. But I'm also planning a couple other different things. If you guys are familiar with Kentucky Sustainment, Kentucky KSL, Kentucky Sustainment KSL, Kentucky. Why can I not remember this? Kentucky Sustainment. Let me see. Kentucky Sustainment. YouTube. YouTube. Kentucky Sustainable Living. There we go. If you are, I recently added the app back to the phone. There you go. Well, get in there. We got 2 levels. Whichever you decide to use is the one you will have. There you go. Thank you, alrighty. Yeah, Kentucky Sustainable Living. Oh, this is the one they asked me to come speak at or go to speak at 2 years ago. Jason runs it. He's got Miss Sharon, and they just are they're doing a great job over there. They're going to be having their not fall their I don't even know what they call it. It's called a festival, and they're going to be having that in July. But I will be having him. I'll be doing a recording with him tonight. Good morning, Deanna. Good to see you. I'll be doing a recording with him tonight, and we're going to talk specifically about the festival and homesteading and all the things that kind of mesh together in the preparedness world. So I'll be recording that tonight, and that will probably go out next week. But there's already videos in the queue for the Patreon for when I'm not around, so you guys will never be missing out. Also, if you haven't noticed, I've been doing like kind of like this daily affirmation thing on the Patreon as well. And I've been kind of giving away more free stuff than I probably should have. But I think it's okay. I think it's okay. I can't if I find a really cool video that's going to help people out or provide information to people that they wouldn't normally go after themselves, and I didn't make it, then I think it should be free anyway. So I'm putting stuff out on the free Patreon and the free side of Patreon. So if you're all watching and you want to join the free Patreon, get your ass over there. There should be a link in the description, to be honest with you. Okay, so let's go ahead and get off of this and look at what happened to Bitcoin today. Today, if you guys got some Bitcoin, I hope you're paying attention. I truly hope you're paying attention. Because let's see, there's June 5th. Can I zoom in on this? How pliable is this chart? So this is June 5th, and it's already lost 2,000. Crazy stuffs. This happened this morning. We woke up to this. This happened overnight, and they tried to call it back this morning, but the markets are just like, no, no, and no. And that's what the markets did this morning with Bitcoin. So right now, Bitcoin has taken a pretty huge loss, over 4,000 in the last 24 hours. So if you're into Bitcoin, I hope you're paying attention to it. Yeah, because if not, your kid's college fund might just go right down the toilet. But we'll see. I mean, there's an ebb and flow to all of this. But with the Bitcoin, I worry specifically when it has a large drop, because that normally means that people are selling out of it because they think or know something is going to be happening in the cryptocurrency world. And as usual, they've already made their moves days ahead of anybody knowing anything. And let's face it, you and I are not those people that are at the bottom rung, that are knowing. We're more in the reactionary side of cryptocurrency or even the market. So kind of paying attention to it. Also, there was an odd thing I was listening the other day to another podcast, and they were talking about how a huge number of people who are in the market, like average Joes, 20 somethings up to the 40s, 50s peoples, um, they're getting their market analysis and, well, probably almost all of their market analysis and their information or hints from the internet, from not just watching ticklers like this, but from like people who are like live streaming their trades on Kick and Twitch, and they're like, "Oh, let's go do that," and then, "Oh, look, it's going up, guys. I can't tell you to get in, but look at me making money." And it's a pretty serious problem because sometimes things just don't work out the way the live streamers on Kick and Twitch do these things. So just an FYI. Do me a favor, guys, put a one in the chat. Let's go ahead and wake that sucker up. And we will move on to the next thing because I've been trying to it's really difficult to cover current events without like regurgitating the news. But I'd like to stick to things that are more on the preparedness side. And everybody's paying attention to gas, gold, and cryptocurrency right now. And if you're just not in the prepper You're just not operating the way you should be. I'm going to go back to the main here real quick and look at the chat. What do we got here? Grumpy Acres said, excuse me. This message didn't go through. We have been paying for Iranian terror for decades. The extra money today is the price of previous admins kicking the can down the road. That is a freaking awesome analogy. That is an awesome analogy, Grumpy. We're paying for the failures of our past leaders. That's a pretty freaking awesome analogy because, I think we all think that, but I don't think people like really it's not galvanized into their brain housing group how badly the government was ran over the past few administrations. It's pretty crazy. Ian showed up. Good to see you, my friend. Stay safe, man. Hopefully you are doing that good thing that you like so much. And I'm glad to see you out there and doing that too, my friend. I often forget that that's how we actually met. That's crazy. We used to get the reports from Ian, the ag reports from Ian on what was going on in the agricultural world based off of a truck driver who was just moving stuff around for the agricultural community. And they can tell you a lot of things. Let's see, morning all from Eastern Tennessee. There we go. There we go. Okay, so with that said, what is the girlfriend is definitely up. Smells like something is burning. But it smells good in kind of a good way. I don't know. I guess when the flames get to that wall over there, then I'll worry. Okay, so let's go ahead and check out the where is the why can I not see my I'm in top chat like a dipstick. That's the first problem. There's my poll. Okay, so the question of the poll is how long can your current food storage actually last your household? Currently, 43% say current storage covers 8 weeks max. Okay, so 369. That's not, you should have 369. No, not 369. 3 months times four, that's 12. So you should be in the 12-month area. Anyway, so 43% also say food storage good for half a year. That's pretty awesome. And 14% say our food stash lasts 3 months now. That is still good. That's great. 3 months. I think 3 months is actually the standard. I mean, you can build some serious stuff. I mean, as you can see behind me, you can build some serious stuff after 3 months. No problem. Enough food for the household for 4 months? This doesn't make any I guess it's just an option. It's just an option as far as questions go. Okay, so those poll numbers are looking pretty good. Let's go ahead and move on to a little bit. I don't know if I want to call this news, um, but I will say it's like that whole like hiding in plain sight, and I think it does have some effect on us. But I felt even if it doesn't, I think it's still good to talk about. So here we go. All right, let's see here. Recent survey points. You know what? Let me check. Let me switch this over here. There we go. Okay, now I can see what I want to see. So a recent, what media wants you to know why men are walking away from liberal society? And recent surveys paint what men might seem like an apocalyptic picture. And if it's, we got to talk about it if it's apocalyptic. That's for sure, right? Um, in the US, around 45% of men ages 18 to 25 do not approach women anymore to engage in dating relationships. Over 42% of all men have no interest in seeking out women for relationships or casual dates. Around 30% of men over 40 years old have never been married and are now necessarily and are not necessarily seeking marriage. That's pretty crazy. And I as usual, I like now that I got my highlighter working, I can go through and like highlight the things that actually are important to think about when we see this pieces of information. And this one is highlighted as well. The truth is, men are not lonely. They are deliberately refusing to participate in order to make a point. They just don't want to deal with the bull. It's basically a boycott that the established media does not want to acknowledge. And you can see in the charts, these charts right here, the wide ideological gap is opening up between young men and women in countries across the world, where women want to want this, but the men no longer want it because they've played this stupid game. And now they're finding out that, well, I guess it's a great case of FAFO. It really is. It's a great case of FAFO. I mean, there's only men are not genetically wired to wear skinny jeans, and I'll leave it at that. You know, my father taught me years ago when we were going through the local looking for pants for I was looking for a set of suit pants for my grandfather's funeral because at the age of 12 I was a pallbearer. And we were at the local we were poor, even though he was in the military. We were very poor. Um, but we were at the local Goodwill pricing trying to try on pants. And I said, you know, Dad, how do you know if these are girls or boys' pants? He says, well, it's simple, son. If you put them on, and well, let me put it to you this way: girls' pants are like a cheap hotel. There's no ballroom, and we'll leave it at that. So girls want the men, and the men are like, "No, we're done. We're done. We're done screwing around." So yeah, things are happening like that. Looking at the chat right there, Tim Huther says, "Don't forget to remind people to check their notification settings from YouTube. Mine was changed." Yes, Tim notified me yesterday that YouTube had changed his settings from well, let me show you. Let me show you real quick. I'm gonna go back to main two, and I'm gonna go to. I just need any YouTube. Um, you know what? Let me go down to YouTube. I got fire. I gotta be careful. YouTube, and then we're gonna find a channel that I am subscribed to. Um, Alaska Granny. We'll go to Alaska Granny. Okay. So you should be able to see that right now. I think you guys are seeing that. Yeah. Yeah, we're on two right now. All right. So Alaska Granny. In your subscriptions, YouTube has been turning everybody's stuff from all to personalized. And what does that mean? No one knows. No one knows what that means. So you might want to go check and make sure that you get it set to subscribed. Because apparently notifications were not going out, even though somehow they were set personalized. So make sure you put it on subscribed and you get all of them. Okay. Tim, thank you for bringing that up, man. I appreciate you. Okay. So let's see here. We talked about the men and women thingamabobs. And let's see here. Live streaming. I can see that. I can see all those different little things. That looks good. Okay. So with that said, let's there was a couple more in the chat there. Ian says kind of hard to prep food when you live in a space smaller than a prison cell. Yeah, I mean, it's true. You know, living in a semi truck is no joke, man. I mean, I don't even know, and it depends on your truck too, to be honest with you. My son was an over the road truck driver. He used to drive for Prime. And he actually was based out of the Midwest, even though he lived in his home was in the East. They refused to put him on the East Coast. So he eventually, after a month of doing that, he was like, "No, this isn't going to work." Um, but yeah, I mean, he lived off a lot of ramen noodles and canned potted meat and things like that. But you know, the other thing too is I think that your prepper skills and your prepper mindset are can help you to almost thrive. You know, prepping is not just having lots of stuff. I really wish it wasn't. I wish it was the exact opposite of that because, you know, as you guys know, I'm still in the process of moving, and it's been a couple of months now that I'm still moving. And my first 4 trips in a van full of stuff, whereas nothing but preparedness stuff, nothing but preps, food preps, gear, all that stuff. So I literally basically moved. It was in the process of moving 2 households. It's no bueno. It's no bueno. But I also think too, like I said, your ability to, you know where the nutritious food is, the food that you can cook, the food that you don't need to cook. I think you're well ahead of that. And like I said, like I was saying earlier, you know, I had met Ian when he was truck driving before he got out of truck driving and now is back in truck driving, which I think is great. But I think that your skills, you have an upgraded skill set as a prepper going into trucking, um, and it's going to help you to live a little bit better, I think. Grumpy says men are walking away from liberal society because they are tired of being vilified and being told to be pussies. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I mean, they're literally telling these men, you no, no, that's these. It's like every time we hear a new word, we've got a teenage boy under our roof right now, and he's 19 years old. He's getting ready to turn 19, and he is just like hearing some of the weirdest stuff, and then he'll like regurgitate it, and I'll be like, oh, another word that means nothing, and he just like, "Arr," because in these kids' minds, especially after the COVID messed them all up from not being able to go to school and socialize. Um, and getting their world from one of these things, you know what I'm saying? Instead of one of these like us, face to face, eye to eye, shoulder to shoulder, back to back, instead of learning the world that way and they learn like this, they think this is the gospel. You know what I'm saying? This is now the book for these people and these growing adults. And when somebody tells them, "No, your book's wrong. It's stupid. It's wrong." And then 90% of the time they don't even want to hear it. They don't even want to hear it. They're just like, "No, no, no. This is smarter than you are. It's smart. It's got all the knowledge of the world in it, and it's way smarter than you are. You don't know what you're talking about." And, I'm thankfully it hasn't turned into a boomer comment yet because that'll probably be one of that probably won't go very well for the young man. But anyway, it's very difficult for these people to wrap their head around the fact that the world existed long before cell phones and that men and women interacted on an interpersonal level, okay? And that we are actually built a certain way, whether we like it or not. Men find women in a specific way attractive or they do not. Women find men in a specific way attractive or they do not. It's that easy. And so when you're being told that you're too masculine, that it's toxic, and I just don't get this toxic thing. It's a little bit of brainwash bullshittery. But when you're being told that, then it's very easy for some of these men who have never actually engaged with other men to be subdued by these women. You know what I'm saying? That with their guiles, you know, if you want to get with me, you got to be a certain way. Yeah, you're right. You're right, lady. If you want to get with me, you got to be a certain way, and that ain't it. See you later. So anyway, let's see if we can get back on the prepper topic here. uh, uh, Viking Queen says, Ian, you can try the long-term food storage buckets, many meals in one small container. That's a possibility, but his problem is he lives in a semi truck, and it's all about the storage. Let's see here. Deanna says, is that why I'm missing everything of yours lately? I don't know. I don't know. You check your settings. Cindy Lou, good to see you. Good to see you. I'm sorry I don't recognize you. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Thanks for hanging out with us. Um, I tell you what. I tell you what. Looks like we're about ready to hit the halfway mark already. Already, perfect timing. I've got something a little special for you. As usual, if you love your country, put a one in the chat. America, I'm still going to drink some coffee. I'm still going to talk some smack. I'm still going to read you some educational stuff so that you walk away smarter in 1 hour than you were an hour before. And yeah, I'm also going to try and get you to look at some of the best gear on the planet. So let's go ahead and push this button. And like I said, I've got something little different for you, a little special for you. And you should be able to see that. And here we go.
Hey guys, so winter BobX is fresh in the store at refugemedical.com. BobX is a bug out bag exercise. We're putting this in at an extremely affordable price point for y'all. You can come camp, rucksack camp, by your lonesome.
Make sure you guys pay attention. This isn't just what he's saying. I'm going to show you something after this.
Available to you. And the main TLO terminal learning objective is, can you live out of your bug out bag?
Put a one in the chat. I'm not seeing enough.
And if the answer to that's no, you'll learn those lessons in a safe environment where you're not going to die because you made some mistakes. We'll have instructors there. There will be 10 blocks of instruction while we're there as well. You can engage with as many of them as you want to or don't want to. Lost proofing, knots and rigging, land nav and pace counts, water purification and environmental hazards, light wilderness medicine, fire making shelters, bushcraft and cooking, signaling and commo, wild edibles and plant ID, pack sizing and loading, and butchering and cooking over a fire. Because we're gonna have one of these that's full grown that we will eat while we're there. Not even kidding. This thing's mama done for. We're eating it at BobX 2026, refugemedical.com. Bring your whole family. It's going to be a blast.
Okay, so I showed that one that just came out yesterday or day before yesterday. And I wanted to show that to you because it's a very, very interesting and smart idea to test out your bug out bags. But check this out. So you guys know I'm always looking for a deal, and I think I found a glitch in the system, and I don't know why it's happening. I would hope that if you have the money that you take advantage of it. So if I go to the Refuge Medical website, right? And I go to the bug out bag exercise, and yes, it's $299, but it's also it's also 2.5 days long. You have all these people, you have all of those classes. You know what I'm saying? It's like if you if you if you decide to go to like prepper camp in September, then you have like all these different classes you could go to. This is like a totally enclosed audience that it's totally you know what I'm saying? It's captured. You heard all the stuff he listed off, right? You had to have. You had to have heard all that stuff. You don't have to move from tent to tent or group to group or break after this or break after that. You don't have to all these crazy. It's like all consolidated in one simple spot. Okay. And it looks like, I think it's in the month of November. Yeah. November 15th through the 26th is when it's going. So if you're planning some kind of prepper vacation prepcation, all right, in the month of November, you might want to think about that. And honestly, I would go to this or I would go to KSL. This is November or KSL in July. Okay. But look at these. Now, here's the one thing I wanted to show you. Watch this. I want you to pay close attention. Okay. Maybe I'll zoom this in, see what it does. All right. So let's say I'm going to do this. Okay. So pay attention. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add it to my cart. My cart's up here, right? Watch what happens. We're going to hit that add to cart button. All right, so you see it, right? So then you've got, if you use code LOCALPREPPER, you can actually save $45, right? And then what happens is if you kind of like, boop, and you back out and you hit the F5 key or your refresh key, you see the number just changed? You see what just happened right there? Now there's 3 things in your cart. So now you actually are going to get the $199 bundle, okay, for Tenchu Poison Ivy. This is a complete kit. This is like skin irritation stuff, right? And you're going to get the 99 plus fire starter bundle, and you're going to get these things for free. I didn't even know this just happened. I personally think this is a glitch. But you know what? I think that you should be thinking about that. If you go there, use my code and see what happens because it's not planned. It's literally just happening. Okay. So if you're into it and you got the money, check it out, refugemedical.com, and take advantage of it. No one's gonna, this is not our fault. Take advantage of it. Okay, so we got that done. We paid our bills. Some things that are happening. The city on a hill showed up. Jesus repented. No, city on a hill. Jesus is already here. Pay attention. There's a sign on Highway 17 on the eastern shore of Virginia, and it says, he is here. So you're late. You're kind of late. All right. Okay. So with that said, let's see. Whoa, what did I just do? I just pushed a button I didn't want to push. Okay, so something happened. Something happened yesterday. If you guys didn't know about this, in our government, I'm not too happy about it, but it happened. Okay, so basically the title, this is coming from the BBC, which means that it's super liberal and doesn't really matter, but it's still a voice. Trump hits back as unpatriotic vote after House rebukes him over Iran. Now, what does this mean? What does this mean? Okay, let me hit this button here and you guys pay attention. Is there noise? There is noise.
On this vote, the yeas are 215 and the nays are 208. The concurrent resolution is adopted.
Look at all the people on the left.
The motion to reconsider is laid on the table.
They're pretty happy. They're pretty happy. So basically, what happened was yesterday. This is actually from the president's Truth Social post. It said yesterday, in a meaningless vote, the House voted 4 bad Republicans and all the Democrats to limit my war powers, right in the middle of my final negotiations to end the war with the Islamic Republic of Iran. Who would do such an unpatriotic thing? And it sounds, on its fascia, it sounds almost kind of empty, but when you really think about it, what kind of message is that sending? Is our Congress sending to Iran when they're literally seeing their Congress trying to limit the president's war powers? Um, it's not good. It's not good for the country. And I hate to say it, but these people just don't ever do anything good for the country. It's all about themselves and their power and their personal opinions, and they're wanting to build the nanny state. But it has also been described, the move as unconstitutional, attempting to restrict presidential power, and that the road to actual enforcement would involve the legislation clearing several thorny political procedure and legal bundles. So what they're basically saying is that, yeah, they did this resolution, and we can be pissed that there's 4 Republicans that said, yeah, that's great, let's do that. We don't like this anymore. We can be mad at that, okay? Um, and all of that is just it's kabuki theater. It's all political theory or theater, right? But the bottom line is that the War Powers Act is a law, okay? And what they voted on does not change the law. Because if they change the law and someone who wears a blue tie gets into power, then they will have less power. And that's not what they want. Yeah, this is all theater. It's all kabuki theater. If you agree with me, put a 1 in the chat. Let's wake that chat up, guys. I guess the next thing that I want to talk about is we've got U.S. jobless aid fillings, a proxy for layoffs. I'm sorry, U.S. job aid filings is a proxy for layoffs, hit highest level since Iran war began in February. This is a mostly centrist. This is on ground.news. If you guys are interested in ground.news, it's the last link in my video description. You won't save any money by getting like a monthly subscription, but if you get an annual subscription, I think you save like 20%, something like that. But this is actually a very centrist. All the articles are written by centrists by 59%. And it's actually more left than right if you look at the scale. If you guys don't know how the scales work, there it is right there. That's the scales right there. So it tells you whether this is a left or right leaning policy or a subject or articles in general. All right. So the bottom line is that inflation remains above the Federal Reserve's 2% target, promoting policymakers to consider rate hikes this year instead of cuts to address elevated price measures. So we've got a brand new Fed chairman, and no one is really like, oh, we got rid of the other guy. Well, the other guy, he's not the chairman anymore, but he has not relinquished his position on the board. So he will have some yippity yap, talking, but he'll be more of like every time. So every time a decision is made by the new Fed, he will be the thorn in the side that'll pop out on CNN or MS Now and say, no, we didn't really want to do that, but he's the chairman, so we have to do that. Or we just completely disagree with everything he does because that's the Democratic way. Um, so that's what we can expect from that. But they're talking about rate hikes. But I know that the president doesn't want that to happen, and this guy was appointed by the president, so I don't think that that will happen. Not for probably at least 2 quarters. So if they can get something going inside of 2 quarters, 2 of the quarters, then we won't have to do anything. I just got a gift. I just got a gift trophy for 1,000 joules from Tim Huther. And Tim, I got to be honest with you, I have no idea what that is. I don't know what it does. I don't even know if it benefits anything whatsoever. But I do appreciate it. I do appreciate it. And I probably should look into it because if it's something that people are spending money on that doesn't benefit anybody other than the YouTube, then we should probably find out and not do stuff like that. But I still love you, man. I still love you. Um, but yeah, they're talking about they're combining multiple subjects, you know. Yeah, it twirled on my screen. I saw like a message on mine and then like this little trophy popped up and it spun like really slowly and then it disappeared. That's what I saw. That's how I knew you pushed a button. But they're trying to connect different things. And we're also going to talk a little bit about the connection with this. Right now, it's all about the jobs. See, the left is in full attack mode. They're trying to connect everything to the war, to the economy, to your gas prices, to your food prices. Oh, did we forget about the price of eggs? Yeah, I thought so. Um, and so that's what we're going to hear the most about. And hopefully we won't have any very serious like raising rates and stuff like that. But the markets aren't going crazy. So even with an announcement, there was the jobs report has already come out for the month of May, and as I understand it, I have not checked. It happened at around 9:30, but what they call the whisper report, basically is that there was about 100 to 200,000 jobs added to the market. So we'll see. Let's see here. Me neither. It just showed up. I had jewels to gift, so I got you. Oh, I got you. I appreciate you, man. Cool. I still don't know what it is, but I appreciate you. Okay, so with that said, like I said, they're going to try and connect everything. And you know what? I just realized you guys can't see what I'm looking at. This is what I was talking about. This is what I was talking about right here, and the scale and how ground.news works, and U.S. jobs aids a proxy for layoffs. They're trying to attach everything to your quality of life and how you orange man bad or Republican equals your life is going to suck and we're so much better, even though the math and the science and the statistics all prove that it's the exact opposite when the nanny state is in charge. All right, let's go ahead and move on to something close to that. And this is not the right one. That's the one I want right there. Social Security benefits that's not even what I wanted. I wanted this one. We're going to move that over there. All right, so this is talks about the tech industry loses 1,000 or 123,000 jobs this year. AI is the most cited reason for the layoffs. That's the key word right there. Is the most cited reason. Okay? Not the actual reason, it's the most cited reason. And why? Because media, right? Media. So, U.S. tech companies announced 38,000 job cuts in May, the industry's heaviest month of reductions in nearly 2 years, according to data published Thursday. Okay. So, you got to pay attention to what I'm saying. You got to pay attention to it. U.S. tech companies, not steel workers, not the guys who cut your hair, not Walmart employees. No, Alan, I don't work there. Tech companies. Okay. And the technology industry has eliminated over 123,000 positions since January, an increase of more than 65% from last year. Other reasons cited included market and economic conditions, closings, and restructurings. So there's actually other reasons why people are getting laid off out of the tech world, right? And this is happening despite uh, what they call cutting roles. All right, where basically they're like, we have so many people, we have too many, we got to cut these guys out, right? Tech firms announced another 11,000 new hirings in the month of May. So even though they were cutting people out, they were also hiring people because we need more we need more people to maintain the equipment, and we need more people to maintain the building. We need more people to take care of the infrastructure while the AI does all the work of all the, you're going to love this. Corporate leaders warned that middle management and white collar jobs remain most vulnerable to AI displacement. AI displacement. I'm going to can I double highlight that? I bet I can. I bet I can double highlight that. What is this? What's that? Change color, and we're going to make it orange. Nah, it got the whole thing. Darn it. AI displacement. Keywords to remember. With executives predicting hiring for entry level positions will slow in the coming years as remaining roles demand greater skills. So, once again, those people that actually have those skills it's very unlikely that they'll be losing their position. In fact, they'll be looking for more people with skills than people with collars, if you get my drift. If you get my drift. All right, I'm going to look at the chat here real quick. Somebody's typed some stuff in there. Let's see here. Gun Dog In. I don't recognize you. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, bro. And welcome. Remington to stock. I got to. Remington to stock. I'm going to guess up for your pets and life. This is you. Did you use voice to text? I think you're trying to say, remember to stock up for your pets and livestock. If I got that right, put a one in the chat. Yeah, most definitely. Most definitely. Never forget your animals because in the end, if they're healthy when you have to eat them, they're going to taste better. Just saying. Just saying. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to the next one, which is Social Security benefits. Cuts could average $500 a month for retirees if trust funds run dry, the reports are finding. Now, when they say trust funds, so the Social Security fund is considered a trust fund. So remember that. The Committee for a Responsible Federal Budget report reported that Social Security's retirement trust fund faces insolvency by 2032, triggering an automatic 24% benefit cut, averaging $500 monthly for millions of Americans. So I don't know if this has happened or not. I'm not old enough to be on Social Security. But this whole thing, when they say triggered, it means that there's a step. When we're running our trust and we're shilling money out and we're bringing money in, shilling it out, bringing it in, if we hit to a certain trigger point, as a prepper, you should know what a trigger point is. If we hit a certain trigger point, then this will do something will happen. Okay. And that something is $500 less in your paycheck, in your retirement benefit check. So, will this happen or not? I think the key thing to remember is that with the annual Social Security Trustees report expected this month, candidates face pressure to secure the program through benefit reductions. Though benefit reductions remain a political red line for many in Congress. So basically, every time they scream Social Security you're about to run out of money. That's the term they like to say, run out of money. Every time they scream bloody murder about this, someone says up, no, it's fully funded. Stop doing this. Blah 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 blah. Until something goes wrong, and then they have to make some kind of amendment to this or a change to that. And that's what we can probably expect. I think if Um, I'm not going to worry about it. I'm not going to worry about it. 2032 rolls around, and who knows? I may not even be alive. Who knows, right? But I think the point is that these people want to be elected, and Social Security is a major subject for every single citizen in this country. It's the promise that's been made, you know what I'm saying? And they can't just do this thing like that happened over in Greece where they were like people were retiring at like 50 years old and then collecting Social Security checks until they're 90, and you know what I'm saying? It's not sustainable. Our system is sustainable. We just have to stop spending money on things that don't support sustainability. You know what I'm saying? So those I think that those are probably more important things there. Okay, so I'm not too worried about Social Security. And what do we got here? Stephanie Lake, 8169. Stephanie, thank you for hanging out with us. I don't recognize you. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Thank you for the um damn, my brain is not working. Not comment. I don't want to say thank you for that comment. What is it? Compliment. I want to thank you for that compliment. Ian says, "Got to start rolling. Good seeing everyone later up at you too, bro. Take it easy. Be safe out there, okay? Remember to use that company card as long as you need to for whatever you need to, man." Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at the poll one last time. I'm gonna take a sip of coffee. Taking a look at the poll. The poll question is how long can your current food storage actually last your household? 38% believe current storage over 8 weeks max. We got 31% say food storage good for half a year. Freaking awesome. And then we got 15% and 15%. One of them is our food stash lasts 3 months now. That is super awesome. And enough food for a household 4 months. That is freaking awesome as well. If you guys haven't voted in the poll, please do so now. We're edging up on our final minutes. And yeah, with that said, I think let's see. What else? I have changed my on the prepper side. If you got a question, it's time to throw it in right now, okay? Because like I said, 7 minutes. Do it now. Do it. Do it. Do it. So I can answer it. But while you're doing that, while you're thumbing your phone, it sounds dirty when I say it like that. While you're thumbing your phone, the I've made an abrupt change in my EDC. I'm now carrying an EDC satchel on the daily that's got a neat little gadget in it that I haven't really talked to you guys about very much, because I've been kind of I guess you say testing, rolling with, using, evaluating for over 6 months. I'll be making that video today, and that will be probably coming out next week. So. Got to get out of here. Have a great day. You too, Tim. I appreciate you, man. I'll tell Julie you said hey, and that you were throwing out good vibes, man. All right, guys. I think that's going to be about it. I don't see any questions in the chat, so yeah, guys, do me a favor. Make sure you hit that thumbs up on the way out the door because it's free and it's good for me. And until the next time, stay safe. Have a great weekend, and I shall see you when I see you. I would say goodbye, but if you're in the Patreon, you know you have constant contact with me. And yes, there's a Patreon. Go find the link in the description. Join up now. Bye bye. Oh, now you want to throw. Okay, Grumpy, because it's you. Have you seen the talk of the Dust Bowl 2.0? They are saying the Ogala aquifer is drying up and data centers will make it worse. Viking Wing sent me 10 jewels. Thank you very much. Thank you. Cindy Lou, yes. In too late. No, 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 it's okay. It's okay. This is actually relevant. Yes, I have seen posts about that. That um, it's a very, very scary situation, because aquifers do dry up. But that one has been coming for a long time. And if it's been coming for a long time, and it does happen. They did actually have like it was about 4 or 5 years ago. They had some aquifers in South Africa dry up, and like everybody in like 10 villages. When I say village, I mean like small towns. You know what I'm saying? They all had to move to where the water was. It got to the point where they had one spigot in the middle of town, and people just lined up to fill their water jugs, and they could go there twice a week. So yeah, I am aware of that situation, but I have no control over it. But and it is kind of scary. So okay, hopefully that answered your question. Data centers will make it worse. There's no telling. There's a lot of there's no way to tell who's telling the truth right now. It really isn't, because there have been data centers. Let me close on this. Do you guys remember all of the government data centers that that got set up so that they can like track all our phone calls and record everything, and people are freaking out. And these things are the size of like mega factories. They're huge. You remember all those? Somehow no one no one died. So I don't it's very difficult for me to believe um that these data centers are going to be as bad as people say. So we'll see what happens. I also think Elon's got the right thing building data centers in space. I think that that's the smarter thing to do. All right, guys, stay safe. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you when I see you. Thanks for the question, Grumpy. I appreciate you, bro. That's a lot of thumb work, bro. I'll talk to you later. Bye bye. It's one of these buttons over here. That's right there.